In a world driven by technology, the legacy of Nikola Tesla continues to shape our lives. His vision, once a distant dream, now powers the innovations we see every day. As electric cars glide silently through our streets and cities embrace sustainability, we witness Tesla's enduring influence. Whispers of light. In silence, dreams ignite. Through cities bathed in light, a vision long untold now shapes the world we hold. The future he imagined, though unfinished in his time, has come alive in the very fabric of our modern world. Hello, my name is Joe, and today we'll explore how Nikola Tesla's ideas continue to shape our world. The hum of electric cars filled the air as they silently glided through the streets, a far cry from the roaring engines of the past. Charging stations, once rare, now dotted the landscape, shining as symbols of progress. Above, invisible data waves crisscrossed the skies, linking devices in a seamless web of communication. Smartphones buzzed with notifications, carried by signals traveling wirelessly. The world had become a global village, powered by the wireless networks that now formed the backbone of modern society. Meanwhile, towering wind turbines and expansive solar farms captured the Earth's natural energy, turning sunlight and wind into electricity. The vision of a world powered by sustainable energy was no longer a distant dream, but an emerging reality. Yet, as these marvels of modern technology became commonplace, few paused to consider the mind that had first envisioned them. The electric car, the wireless network, the push for renewable energy, all were rooted in the ideas of a man who lived over a century ago. A man whose genius was so far ahead of his time that he was often dismissed as a dreamer, or worse, a madman. That man was Nikola Tesla, a name that had become synonymous with innovation, yet one that many still knew only in passing. Born in 1856 in what is now Croatia, Tesla was a visionary whose ideas were as boundless as the energy he sought to harness. He imagined a world where electricity flowed freely and wirelessly, where machines worked without the need for human labor, and where energy was abundant and clean. Tesla's contributions to science and technology were monumental. He pioneered the development of alternating current, AC, the form of electricity that powers homes and businesses to this day. His work on wireless communication laid the groundwork for the radio, the television, and eventually the internet. He even envisioned technologies that would not be realized until long after his death. Solar power, electric vehicles, and wireless energy transmission. Yet, despite his groundbreaking work, Tesla was often misunderstood and marginalized by his contemporaries. In an age dominated by industrial titans like Thomas Edison and J.P. Morgan, Tesla's ideas were seen as too radical, too impractical. His refusal to conform to the expectations of the time, combined with his eccentric personality, made him an outsider in the very field he was revolutionizing. But Tesla was undeterred. He continued to push the boundaries of what was possible, driven by a singular vision of a future that he knew was within reach, even if the world around him could not yet see it. His ideas, once dismissed as fantasy, are now the very foundation of the modern world. The electric car, the wireless network, the push for renewable energy, all are testament to the enduring legacy of Nikola Tesla. As we look around at the world today, it is easy to take these technologies for granted, to forget the man who, more than a century ago, laid the groundwork for the future we now inhabit. But the story of Nikola Tesla is not just one of invention and innovation. It is a story of perseverance, of vision, and of the struggle to bring ideas to life in a world that was not yet ready for them. To truly understand the impact of Tesla's work, we must journey back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a time when the world was on the brink of a technological revolution. It was in this era, amid the clamor of industry and the dawn of electricity, that Tesla's genius began to shine. Imagine, if you will, a young Tesla arriving in New York City, his mind ablaze with ideas that would change the world. He steps off the boat, the skyline of the burgeoning metropolis before him, ready to embark on a journey that would see him clash with some of the most powerful men of his time, face overwhelming obstacles, and ultimately leave a legacy that would only be fully recognized long after his death. As we delve into the life and work of Nikola Tesla, we will explore not only the inventions that have shaped our world, but also the man behind them, the struggles he faced, the battles he fought, and the dreams he dared to pursue. This is the story of a man who saw the future, a future that is now our present, and how he brought it to life, one idea at a time. The year was 1884, and the bustling streets of New York City were alive with the promise of progress. Factories belched smoke into the sky, steam engines powered the city's growth, and the hum of new inventions filled the air. It was a city on the cusp of modernity, and into this world stepped a young Nikola Tesla, fresh off the boat from Europe, with a mind full of revolutionary ideas. Tesla had arrived in America with little more than a letter of introduction to one of the most powerful men in the country, Thomas Edison. Edison was already a household name, celebrated as the Wizard of Menlo Park for his invention of the phonograph and his work on electric lighting. He was a man of immense influence, with a vast network of investors and a thriving business empire. But for all his success, Edison was also known for his pragmatism and his relentless drive to commercialize his inventions. The meeting between Tesla and Edison took place in Edison's laboratory, a sprawling, cluttered space filled with wires, batteries, and prototypes of all kinds. The smell of oil and metal permeated the air, and the clanking of machinery echoed through the room. Edison, a stocky man with a keen, calculating gaze, was in the midst of a demonstration when Tesla arrived, his attention focused on a new electrical device. Tesla, tall and lean, with an air of quiet intensity, stood at the threshold of the lab, his eyes scanning the chaotic scene before him. For a moment, he hesitated, feeling a wave of uncertainty. This was the man he had admired from afar, the man who had made electric light a reality. But as Tesla stepped forward, he reminded himself that he was here not just to learn, but to challenge the very foundations of Edison's work. Edison looked up as Tesla approached, his expression a mix of curiosity and skepticism. "You must be the young inventor from Europe," Edison said, extending a hand. "I've heard you have some interesting ideas." Tesla shook his hand, feeling the firm grip of a man accustomed to getting his way. "Thank you, Mr. Edison," Tesla replied, his voice steady. "I've come to work with you, to learn from you. But I also hope to show you a new way of thinking about electricity." Edison raised an eyebrow, intrigued but wary. "A new way, you say? Well, let's hear it, then." Tesla took a deep breath, launching into an explanation of alternating current, AC, a system he believed was far superior to the direct current, DC, that Edison was championing. He spoke passionately about the efficiency of AC, its potential to transmit electricity over long distances, and its ability to power cities with far less energy loss than DC. Edison listened, but his expression grew more guarded as Tesla continued. When Tesla finished, there was a moment of silence before Edison responded. "You make a compelling case," Edison said slowly, "but I spent years developing DC. It's reliable, it's proven, and it's already being used across the country. What you're proposing, it's theoretical, unproven, and frankly, it's risky." Tesla felt a pang of disappointment but pressed on. "With respect, Mr. Edison, I believe that AC is the future. It can revolutionize the way we power our world." Edison's gaze hardened. "The future, perhaps. But today, we deal in what works. You're welcome to work here, Mr. Tesla, but I suggest you focus on improving what we already have, rather than chasing dreams." Tesla nodded, understanding the implicit dismissal. He had come to Edison seeking mentorship, but he realized now that their visions for the future were fundamentally different. Edison was a man grounded in the practicalities of the present, while Tesla's mind was already soaring into the possibilities of tomorrow. As Tesla left the laboratory that day, he knew that this would not be the partnership he had hoped for. Instead, it would be the beginning of a rivalry that would shape the future of electricity and the world. The seeds of rivalry between Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison had been sown in their first meeting, but it was in the months that followed that the conflict truly began to take shape. As Tesla worked tirelessly in Edison's laboratory, his ideas about alternating current, AC, continued to evolve. He was convinced that AC was not only superior to direct current, DC, but that it could revolutionize the entire electrical industry. Yet each time he brought his ideas to Edison, they were met with the same skepticism and dismissal. Edison, ever the pragmatist, was firmly entrenched in his belief that DC was the future of electricity. He had invested heavily in DC infrastructure, and his financial backers were committed to its success. To Edison, Tesla's ideas were not just a challenge to his authority. They were a threat to his entire business empire. As Tesla's frustration grew, he began to realize that his future did not lie with Edison. The tension between them reached a breaking point when Tesla proposed a comprehensive plan to overhaul Edison's existing DC systems with his AC technology. Edison, more concerned with the practicalities of maintaining his current operations, dismissed the proposal outright, repeatedly quipping, "If you want to try your ideas, you'll have to do it on your own." And so, Tesla did just that. He left Edison's employ and struck out on his own, determined to prove the viability of AC. With the backing of industrialist George Westinghouse, Tesla began to develop his AC systems in earnest. Westinghouse, a visionary in his own right, saw the potential in Tesla's work and provided the resources and support needed to bring AC to the forefront of the electrical industry. But Edison was not about to let AC rise without a fight. He launched a campaign to discredit Tesla's work, using every tool at his disposal to sway public opinion against AC. Edison's tactics were ruthless. He portrayed AC as dangerous, even deadly, and went so far as to stage public demonstrations where animals were electrocuted with AC power to show its supposed dangers. The press, ever hungry for sensational stories, eagerly reported on these gruesome displays, further fueling the public's fear. Tesla, horrified by the lengths to which Edison would go to protect his interests, found himself in a battle not just of technology, but of public perception. While he continued to refine and demonstrate the safety and efficiency of AC, the shadow of Edison's smear campaign loomed large. The media, largely influenced by Edison's powerful connections, painted AC as a reckless gamble, a dangerous alternative to the safe and familiar DC. The rivalry reached its zenith during the contest to light the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. This was more than just a bid for a lucrative contract. It was a symbolic battle for the future of electricity. When the fairgrounds were illuminated by thousands of electric lights powered by Tesla's AC, it marked a moment of triumph for both Tesla and Westinghouse. However, the victory came at a cost. Financial pressures and Edison's relentless attacks had taken a toll on Tesla's personal and professional life. The World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, 1893, was a spectacle of human achievement, a grand showcase of innovation and progress. But beyond the gleaming white buildings and the awe-inspiring exhibits, a monumental battle was about to unfold, a battle that would determine the future of electricity and forever alter the course of history. The tension in the air was palpable as the crowds gathered for the grand lighting ceremony. This was the moment Tesla and Westinghouse had been working towards, the chance to demonstrate the power and potential of alternating current, AC, on the world stage. The stakes couldn't have been higher. If they succeeded, AC would be cemented as the dominant form of electricity. But if they failed, it would be a devastating blow to Tesla's vision and Westinghouse's fortunes. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the fairgrounds were plunged into darkness. For a brief moment, the crowd murmured in anticipation, the silence thick with expectation. Then, with the flip of a switch, the night exploded into light. Thousands of electric bulbs illuminated the fairgrounds, casting a brilliant glow that seemed to chase away the shadows. The effect was nothing short of magical, an entire city brought to life by the power of electricity. The crowd gasped in unison, their faces reflecting the wonder and disbelief at what they were witnessing. It was as if the very stars had descended to earth, each one carefully placed by the hand of man. The scale and brilliance of the display were beyond anything anyone had ever seen before, a testament to the incredible potential of Tesla's AC power. In that moment, the world saw the future, and it was powered by alternating current. But the victory was not just a triumph of technology. It was a personal vindication for Tesla. For years, he had been ridiculed, dismissed, and overshadowed by Edison and his backers. But here, in front of the eyes of the world, Tesla's vision had been validated in the most spectacular way possible. Yet, as the lights blazed on, casting long shadows over the fairgrounds, another kind of shadow began to fall, this time over Edison's empire. The demonstration of AC's capabilities was a direct challenge to everything Edison had built. For years, he had dominated the electrical industry with his direct current, DC systems, but now, that dominance was being eroded before his very eyes. As the crowd cheered and marveled at the lights, Edison could see the writing on the wall. The world was changing, and with it, the balance of power in the electrical industry. The success of the AC demonstration was a turning point, not just for Tesla and Westinghouse, but for the entire world. The age of direct current was coming to an end, and the future belonged to alternating current. For Tesla, the moment was bittersweet. He had proven his critics wrong, shown the world the power of his ideas, but the cost had been high. The financial pressures, the relentless attacks from Edison, and the personal sacrifices he had made weighed heavily on him. As the lights of the fair continued to shine, Tesla couldn't help but wonder what the future held for him, and whether the world was truly ready to embrace the full scope of his vision. The victory at the World's Columbian Exposition was a triumph for Tesla and his vision, but it was also a moment of profound reflection. As the lights of the fairgrounds dimmed and the world began to move on, Tesla found himself contemplating the true cost of innovation. The rivalry with Edison had driven him to the brink, both financially and emotionally. The battle for the future of electricity had taken a toll that could not be easily measured in dollars or acclaim. Tesla had won the war, but at what cost? The question lingered in his mind, even as the world hailed him as a genius. In the quiet aftermath of the victory, Tesla penned a reflection, a poem that captured the essence of his journey, the highs and the lows, the triumphs and the sacrifices. In the dance of light and shadows play, the brightest minds will lead the way, but in the brilliance, darkness falls, and echoes faint within these halls. For every spark that lights the sky, there's a shadow cast, a question why. The cost of dreams is dearly paid, in the silent nights when hope has swayed. Yet still we strive, yet still we fight, to turn the darkness into light. For in the end, what we create is more than just a twist of fate. It's the echo of a dreamer's call, a legacy that stands for all. With the battle for AC won and the world illuminated by his vision, time marched forward, but Tesla's mind never rested. As the years passed, his thoughts turned from the wired connections that powered the cities to a new, more profound challenge, one that would liberate energy from the confines of cables and poles. The dawn of a wireless revolution was at hand. In the quiet solitude of his lab, nestled on the upper floors of a Manhattan building, Nikola Tesla's mind buzzed with possibilities. The triumph of alternating current had propelled him to the forefront of innovation, but his restless spirit refused to settle. While the world marveled at the electrified cities below, Tesla's thoughts had already moved to the next frontier, wireless transmission. Tesla believed that just as electricity could be transmitted over long distances through wires, so too could it be transmitted without them. It was an audacious idea, one that challenged the very foundations of the technology of his time. But Tesla was no stranger to pushing boundaries. He envisioned a world where information, energy, and even images could be sent across vast distances without the need for physical connections, a world where the Earth itself would become a giant conductor, distributing power to every corner of the globe. In the dim glow of his laboratory, Tesla began his experiments with wireless transmission. His early work involved intricate coils, oscillators, and transformers, devices that would become the building blocks of modern radio and wireless communication. He spent countless hours perfecting his designs, driven by a relentless curiosity and an unwavering belief in the potential of his ideas. But with each step forward came new challenges. The science was complex, the equipment delicate, and the results often unpredictable. Tesla faced failure after failure, but he was undeterred. He would often work late into the night, his mind racing with ideas, his hands never still as he adjusted wires, recalibrated instruments, and recorded his findings. The air crackled with the energy of his experiments, the hum of electricity a constant companion in the stillness of the lab. Despite his progress, skepticism surrounded Tesla's work. Many of his contemporaries found the idea of wireless transmission fanciful, even impossible. The scientific community, grounded in the established methods of the time, struggled to grasp the implications of Tesla's theories. Investors were wary, too, reluctant to fund what they saw as little more than an eccentric inventor's pipe dream. But Tesla, ever the optimist, refused to let the doubts of others sway him. He saw the future with a clarity that eluded those around him, and he was determined to bring that future into reality. One of his most ambitious projects was the construction of the Wardenclyffe Tower, a massive structure designed to transmit not just signals, but power itself across the globe. Though the tower would become more closely associated with Tesla's vision of free energy, its inception was rooted in his groundbreaking work on wireless transmission. Over a century after Tesla first dreamed of a world connected by invisible waves, that vision has woven itself into the very fabric of our lives. What once seemed radical, even impossible, is now the backbone of our digital age. Wireless communication has transcended its origins as a technological marvel to become a necessity, a seamless part of everyday existence. Smartphones, Wi-Fi, and satellites have transformed the way we live, work, and connect. Information now travels at the speed of light, crossing oceans and continents in an instant. The Internet, the vastest communication network ever conceived, is built on principles Tesla laid down in his early experiments. His vision of a wireless world has reshaped our reality in ways even he might not have fully imagined. Tesla's work laid the groundwork for the wireless technologies that drive our global economy and connect billions. From radio to mobile phones, GPS systems to Wi-Fi networks, each innovation traces its roots back to his pioneering spirit. The invisible forces Tesla sought to harness now power our lives, keeping us connected and informed. The idea of transmitting power without wires, still in its early stages, has sparked renewed interest among those seeking sustainable solutions. Tesla's dream of freely available energy, distributed wirelessly, continues to inspire innovation and exploration. Every time we send a message, stream a video, or use a wireless device, we tap into Tesla's legacy. His dream of a world without wires has come to fruition, shaping the very way we interact with the world. Tesla's leap of faith, once dismissed as impossible, has forever changed the course of human history. As we enjoy the seamless connectivity that defines our modern world, it's easy to overlook the origins of these invisible threads that bind us together. Yet with each signal sent, each thought exchanged across vast distances, we are reminded of the man who first imagined this world without wires, a world that was once nothing more than a distant dream. In every wave that travels fast, across the skies, the die is cast. A signal sent, a thought exchanged. In unseen ways, the world is changed. From towers tall to phones we hold, the wireless dreams of Tesla bold. His spirit weaves through every wire. In every spark, his endless fire. The earth itself a conduit, where knowledge flows and ideas flit. Connections form where once were none. His vision clear, his work begun. Through time and space, his thoughts endure. A legacy of hope so pure. For in each pulse of energy lives Tesla's dream of what could be. Unseen, unheard, yet always near. His genius echoes crystal clear. In every call, in every beam, We live within his timeless dream. Yet for Tesla, the wireless revolution was just the beginning. Even as he continued to refine his ideas, pushing the boundaries of what was possible, his mind was already reaching further. Tesla envisioned a world where power itself could be transmitted through the air, free and abundant for all. With the Wardenclyffe project, he aimed to bring this most ambitious dream to life. But Tesla also embarked on a journey that would test the very limits of his genius, his resources, and his resolve. On a windswept stretch of land on Long Island, New York, Nikola Tesla stood gazing up at the towering structure that was to be the pinnacle of his life's work. The Wardenclyffe Tower, as it was called, rose nearly 200 feet into the air, its skeletal frame a stark contrast against the sky. For Tesla, this was more than just a tower. It was the embodiment of a dream that had consumed him for years, a dream to provide free wireless energy to the entire world. The vision behind the Wardenclyffe Tower was audacious, even by Tesla's standards. He believed that the Earth itself could be used as a conductor, allowing energy to be transmitted wirelessly across vast distances. It was a concept so revolutionary that it bordered on the fantastical. But Tesla was undeterred. He imagined a world where power was available to everyone, regardless of location or economic status. A world where energy was as abundant and accessible as the air we breathe. In his mind's eye, Tesla could see the impact of his work. Cities illuminated by wireless power, factories running on clean, limitless energy, and even remote villages connected to the global grid. He envisioned a future where the barriers of distance and cost were erased, where technology served humanity rather than the other way around. The Wardenclyffe Tower was to be the first step toward this utopian vision, a symbol of what was possible when innovation was driven by the desire to benefit all of mankind. But the road to realizing this dream was anything but smooth. The technical challenges alone were daunting. The tower's design was unprecedented, requiring new materials, innovative engineering, and a deep understanding of the natural forces Tesla sought to harness. The sheer scale of the project was overwhelming, and Tesla found himself constantly grappling with unforeseen complications. Financial pressures added to the burden. The cost of building and maintaining the Wardenclyffe Tower was immense, and Tesla's resources were stretched to the breaking point. Despite his past successes, securing funding for such a radical project proved difficult. Investors were wary, hesitant to back a venture that, while visionary, seemed fraught with risk. The more Tesla pushed forward, the more the financial strain began to take its toll. Yet Tesla remained steadfast. He spent long hours at the site, overseeing construction, making adjustments to the design, and working late into the night to solve the technical problems that arose. His passion for the project was infectious, and those who worked with him couldn't help but be inspired by his unwavering belief in the tower's potential. But as the months turned into years, progress slowed, and the dream of wireless energy seemed to slip further out of reach. Tesla's optimism was met with growing skepticism from the outside world. Critics pointed to the mounting costs, the lack of tangible results, and the seemingly insurmountable obstacles that lay ahead. Even some of Tesla's closest allies began to doubt whether the Wardenclyffe Tower would ever achieve its intended purpose. In his quieter moments, Tesla would retreat to his study, where he would sit by the window, and gaze out at the tower in the distance. He knew the odds were against him, but he also knew that the greatest breakthroughs often came from the most unlikely of endeavors. He would close his eyes and let his mind drift to the future he had imagined. A future where the Wardenclyffe Tower stood not as a monument to failure, but as the birthplace of a new era of energy. The financial pressures mounted, and Tesla was eventually forced to halt construction. The tower, once a symbol of boundless possibility, now stood as a reminder of what could have been. The project, which had once promised to change the world, was left incomplete, abandoned like so many of Tesla's other ventures. But in Tesla's heart, the dream lived on. He knew that his ideas were ahead of their time, that the world was not yet ready to embrace the full potential of wireless energy. The Wardenclyffe Tower may have fallen short of its grand vision, but Tesla remained convinced that the principles behind it would one day be realized. As he looked out at the tower one last time, he whispered a silent vow to continue his work, no matter the cost. A century after Tesla's vision for the Wardenclyffe Tower, the world finds itself grappling with the very issues he sought to address: energy accessibility, sustainability, and the control of resources. The modern energy landscape is a battleground where the fight for renewable energy and the push for decentralized power sources echo the challenges Tesla faced in his time. Today, energy monopolies dominate the market, controlling vast networks of power plants, transmission lines, and distribution systems. These entities, much like Edison's DC empire in Tesla's day, are deeply entrenched, resistant to change, and driven by profit. The struggle to break free from this centralized control mirrors Tesla's own battle to bring his vision of wireless, universal energy to life. Renewable energy, once considered a fringe idea, has now become a central focus in the global effort to combat climate change. Solar panels, wind turbines, and hydroelectric plants are reshaping the energy landscape, providing cleaner alternatives to fossil fuels. Yet, despite the progress, significant challenges remain. The transition to renewable energy is slow, hampered by economic interests, political resistance, and the sheer scale of the infrastructure that needs to be transformed. The concept of wireless energy transmission, though still in its infancy, is once again gaining attention. Researchers and companies are exploring ways to transmit power without wires, inspired by the very ideas Tesla pursued over a century ago. From wireless charging technologies to ambitious projects aiming to beam solar power from space, the dream of a world where energy is freely available and universally accessible continues to inspire innovation. But the road ahead is fraught with obstacles. Just as Tesla faced skepticism and financial pressures, today's innovators must navigate a complex web of regulatory challenges, market dynamics, and technological hurdles. The struggle to democratize energy, to make it as abundant and accessible as Tesla envisioned, is ongoing, a testament to the enduring relevance of his ideas. In the debates over energy policy, sustainability, and the future of power, Tesla's legacy looms large. His work serves as both a blueprint and a challenge, a reminder that the pursuit of bold, transformative ideas often comes at a cost, but also that the rewards can be profound. The battles Tesla fought are still being waged today, and the world he dreamed of remains within reach, if we have the courage to pursue it. As the modern world grapples with the challenges of sustainable energy, Tesla's dream of wireless power remains an unfinished symphony, a vision that has yet to fully materialize. The struggle to bring his ideas to life, both then and now, echoes the same barriers of skepticism, financial strain, and the enormity of the task at hand. Yet, in the quiet moments of reflection, the spirit of Tesla's work continues to inspire, urging us to reach higher, to dream bigger. In the heart of night, a tower stands, a dreamer's work with trembling hands. Reaching high, it touched the sky, but left below a silent sigh. The vision clear, the path was true, yet time itself the dream withdrew. For what is light without the spark, but shadows lost within the dark? The hands that built now gently fall, the echoes faint within the hall. Yet in each beam of fleeting light, there lies a trace of endless night. For every dream that dared to soar, there's beauty in the hope it bore. Though incomplete, it still may guide a future where such dreams reside. In towers tall and skies so wide, the spirit lives, though time is tried. A whisper soft, a call so clear, the dreamer's voice we still can hear. So let the tower stand alone, a monument to what's unknown. For in each stone, in each design, lives a dream, both yours and mine. In the years following the halt of the Wardenclyffe project, Nikola Tesla's life took a somber turn. The man who had once electrified the world with his ideas now found himself drifting into obscurity. The grand visions that had fueled his relentless pursuit of innovation were replaced by the harsh realities of a world that had moved on, leaving him behind. Tesla's financial situation had become increasingly dire. The funds that had once flowed freely from investors eager to capitalize on his genius had long since dried up. His patents, once a source of steady income, were now outdated, eclipsed by new technologies that owed much to his original work, but offered him no financial recompense. He had become, in many ways, a victim of his own success. His ideas had spread far and wide, but the man himself had been left in the shadows. Tesla's living conditions deteriorated as his fortunes waned. He moved from one modest hotel to another, each smaller and more obscure than the last. The grand hotel suites where he had once entertained the elite of society were now a distant memory, replaced by sparsely furnished rooms that bore little resemblance to the luxury he had once known. The contrast between his past and present was stark, a constant reminder of how far he had fallen. Yet even in his decline, Tesla's mind remained as sharp as ever. He continued to work on new inventions, scribbling ideas in notebooks and drawing up plans for devices that might never see the light of day. But these ideas, brilliant as they were, went largely unnoticed. The world had turned its attention to other figures, other inventors, and Tesla, once a household name, was slowly fading from public consciousness. Flashbacks to his earlier successes haunted him in these quiet moments. He would often sit by the window, staring out at the bustling streets below, and remember the days when he had stood at the center of the world's stage. The accolades, the triumphs, the groundbreaking discoveries, they all seemed like a lifetime ago. He remembered the first time he had successfully demonstrated alternating current, the moment when the lights of the world's Columbian Exposition had blazed into life, and the applause that had followed. Those moments had defined him, had given his life meaning and purpose. But now those memories were bittersweet. They served as a painful contrast to his present reality, a reality where the world seemed to have forgotten the man who had helped shape it. Tesla's isolation deepened with each passing year. Friends and colleagues who had once sought his company were now distant, absorbed in their own lives and careers. The invitations to speak at conferences or to attend high society events had long since stopped coming. Tesla, once surrounded by admirers and collaborators, now found himself increasingly alone. His health, too, began to decline. The years of relentless work, financial stress, and emotional strain had taken their toll. Tesla, once tall and vigorous, grew frail, his body no longer able to keep up with the demands of his mind. The man who had once dreamt of a world powered by free, limitless energy now struggled to power himself through each day. Yet, despite it all, Tesla never lost his spark. He continued to dream, to imagine, and to hope. Even as the world seemed to forget him, he held on to the belief that his work had value, that his ideas would one day be recognized for the genius they were. But as he sat alone in his small hotel room, surrounded by the remnants of a life devoted to invention, he couldn't help but wonder if that day would ever come. Decades after Tesla's death in 1943, the world began to take a second look at the man whose name had been all but forgotten. The late 20th century saw a resurgence of interest in his work as scientists, historians, and enthusiasts started to uncover the vast contributions Tesla had made to modern technology. This rediscovery was fueled by a growing recognition of how ahead of his time Tesla had been. The wireless communication systems that connected the globe, the advancements in electricity that powered entire cities, the early concepts of renewable energy, all of these could be traced back to Tesla's groundbreaking work. His ideas, once dismissed as fanciful or impractical, were now seen as visionary. One of the key figures in this resurgence was a historian named Dr. Catherine Rivers. An expert in the history of science and technology, Dr. Rivers had long been fascinated by Tesla's life and work. She saw in Tesla a tragic figure, a man whose genius had been overlooked in favor of more commercially successful contemporaries. Determined to bring Tesla's contributions back into the spotlight, Dr. Rivers began to write extensively about his life, his inventions, and the profound impact he had on the modern world. In a lecture to a packed auditorium at a prestigious university, Dr. Rivers spoke passionately about Tesla's legacy. Nikola Tesla was not just an inventor, she said, her voice resonating through the hall. He was a visionary, a man who saw the future with a clarity that few of his time could match. The technologies we rely on today, wireless communication, alternating current, renewable energy, are all rooted in his ideas. Tesla may have died in obscurity, but his work lives on, shaping the world in ways that we are only beginning to fully understand. The audience was captivated, many hearing Tesla's story for the first time. Dr. Rivers continued, "It is our duty to recognize and honor the contributions of those who have shaped our world." Tesla's work was ahead of its time, and in many ways, it still is. As we face the challenges of the 21st century, we must look to the past for inspiration, and there is no better place to start than with Nikola Tesla. As Dr. Rivers concluded her lecture, the applause was thunderous. She had succeeded in her mission to reignite interest in Tesla's work, and her efforts, along with those of others like her, ensured that Tesla's name would not be forgotten. The world began to see Tesla not as a mad scientist or a forgotten genius, but as a man whose ideas were the foundation of the modern age. The rediscovery of Tesla's work led to a renewed appreciation for his contributions to science and technology. Books were written, documentaries produced, and monuments erected in his honor. Tesla, once relegated to the footnotes of history, was now recognized as one of the greatest minds of the 20th century. As the world continued to grapple with the challenges of energy, communication, and technology, Tesla's legacy served as a guiding light. His work was a reminder that true innovation often requires thinking far beyond the present, and that the seeds of the future are often sown in the most unlikely places. In shadows cast by time's cruel hand, lie dreams too vast for one to stand. The mind that dared to look ahead saw futures bright where others flood. Yet often does the present blind the truth that time alone will find. For seeds of thought, once buried deep, in distant days their promise keep. The world may turn its gaze away from those who walk a lonely way, but in the quiet where few dare tread, the light of genius is softly spread. Though voices loud may drown the sound of whispers small on hallowed ground, true innovation finds its voice when time itself has made its choice. For justice comes with patient grace, and in the end it finds its place. The work of one, dismissed, ignored, becomes the gift the world adored. So let the dreamer dream his dream, for in the end his truth will gleam. The future's course is often swayed by those whose light is slow displayed. As the world began to rediscover Nikola Tesla's work, it became clear that his influence had never truly disappeared. It had simply been waiting for the right time to be fully recognized. The renewed interest in Tesla's inventions and ideas marked a turning point, a moment when the world finally began to understand the depth of his contributions to modern life. This revival of Tesla's name and ideals was not just a celebration of his past achievements, but also a recognition of the ongoing relevance of his work. As humanity faced new challenges in energy, communication, and technology, Tesla's visionary thinking provided a roadmap for the future. The principles he had championed, sustainability, accessibility, and the boundless potential of innovation, were more pertinent than ever. In the early 21st century, a name that had once echoed in the halls of forgotten history began to resurface, stirring a new kind of excitement: Tesla. But this time, it wasn't just the enigmatic inventor's name. It was a symbol, reborn through the ambition of a new generation. The Tesla that now captured headlines wasn't merely a name from the past. It was a force of the present, led by a man whose dreams seemed to echo those of Nikola Tesla himself. Elon Musk, a modern-day visionary, took the helm of a company that bore the inventor's name, not just to honor him, but to bring his once dismissed dreams into the tangible world. The Tesla brand emerged not as a mere tribute, but as a beacon of innovation, clean energy, and technological progress. Musk's vision, much like Nikola Tesla's a century earlier, was bold and unrelenting, a vision of a world freed from the shackles of fossil fuels, a world where energy was abundant and accessible to all. The rise of Tesla, Incorporated was a story that mirrored the man it was named after, a tale of ambition, setbacks, and triumphs. Founded in 2003, the company began its journey with an audacious mission: to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. The journey was anything but easy, but with each challenge, Tesla's resolve only seemed to strengthen. The turning point came with the release of the Tesla Roadster in 2008, an electric sports car that shattered conventions. Fast, sleek, and powerful, the Roadster wasn't just a car. It was a statement. It challenged the world to rethink what electric vehicles could be, igniting a spark that would set the automotive industry ablaze. But it was the Tesla Model S, introduced in 2012, that truly catapulted the company into the global spotlight. With its futuristic design and zero-emissions performance, the Model S wasn't just a vehicle. It was a promise of what the future could hold. From there, the Tesla story unfolded like a modern epic. The Model X, with its falcon wing doors, redefined what a family vehicle could be. The Model 3 brought electric cars to the masses, turning the dream of sustainable transportation into a reality for many. And the Model Y, with its blend of performance and practicality, became a symbol of Tesla's ever-expanding reach. But Tesla's influence stretched far beyond the roads. In the realm of energy, the company's innovations were transforming how power was generated and consumed. Tesla's Powerwall and solar solutions were more than just products. They were tools for a revolution. The gigafactories, vast and humming with activity, were more than just factories. They were the beating heart of a new industrial era, one that was powered by the sun, the wind, and the boundless energy of human ingenuity. As Tesla grew, so did the respect for the man who had inspired it all. Elon Musk often spoke of Nikola Tesla with a reverence that was rare in the fast-paced world of tech. To Musk, Tesla wasn't just a figure from history. He was a kindred spirit, a fellow dreamer who had dared to look beyond the present and imagine what could be. Nikola Tesla was the original visionary, Musk would say, and our mission at Tesla is to continue his work, to make his dreams a reality for everyone. And so the name Tesla became more than just a brand. It became a legacy. It stood for innovation, for progress, for the relentless pursuit of a better future. Through the work of Tesla, Incorporated, the dreams of Nikola Tesla were no longer confined to the pages of history. They were alive, shaping the world in ways he had only dared to imagine. In every spark, a vision lies, a glimpse of dreams that touch the skies. Through time and space, his legacy lives on in all that we can see. From wires that hum to cars that glide, his spirit runs, a constant guide. In every light, in every field, the power of his mind revealed. He dared to dream beyond his age, to write the future, page by page. And though his time on earth is past, his ideas and ideals will ever last. So let us raise our voices high, to honor him who touched the sky. In Tesla's name, we find our way toward a brighter, better day. As we journey through the pages of Nikola Tesla's life, we find ourselves not just tracing the footsteps of an inventor, but stepping into the dreams of a man who saw beyond the horizon. Tesla wasn't merely a scientist. He was a visionary, a dreamer whose ideas danced on the edges of the possible, weaving the future into the fabric of his time. His work with alternating current, AC, didn't just light up cities. It illuminated a world of possibilities, casting long shadows across time. shadows that still guide us today. Yet Tesla's influence reached far beyond the flicker of electric lights. In the quiet hum of wireless signals, in the invisible currents that connect us all, his spirit lingers. The technologies we so casually hold in our hands, the phones, the satellites, the web of connections that crisscross the globe, these are the echoes of Tesla's early whispers, the fruits of his labor in a world that had not yet learned to listen. But Tesla's gaze was always set on a broader horizon. He dreamed of harnessing the natural forces of the world, of drawing energy from the earth, the sun, the very air we breathe, and giving it freely to all. His vision of a sustainable future, though overlooked in his time, now shines brightly in our own, a testament to his far-reaching foresight. As the world grapples with the pressing needs of our planet, Tesla's ideas emerge from the past, offering guidance and hope. And yet, behind the brilliance of his achievements lies a tale of solitude and struggle. Tesla, a man out of step with his era, often walked alone, his path strewn with the sharp stones of misunderstanding and betrayal. But even as the world turned its back, he held fast to his dreams, a beacon in the dark, unwavering and resolute. His story is one of quiet perseverance, of clinging to a vision when the night is darkest, believing in the dawn that must surely come. Today, Tesla's name is whispered with reverence, not just as a pioneer of technology, but as a symbol of imagination unbound. He reminds us that the true legacy of a visionary lies not in the accolades of the present, but in the seeds sown for the future. Through Tesla, we learn that the pursuit of knowledge is not just a journey. It is a calling, one that beckons us to look beyond the immediate and into the infinite. As we step further into this century, Tesla's life gently nudges us to reflect on our own paths. He asks us not just to innovate, but to imagine a world that is better, kinder, and more just. His legacy is a challenge to dream, to dare, and to create a future that, though it may seem far off, is within our reach if we only have the courage to believe. In the quiet moments of reflection, as we draw inspiration from Nikola Tesla's life, we are reminded of the profound power of visionary thinking. Tesla's story is not just one of invention. It is a tale of daring to see the world not as it is, but as it could be. His work teaches us that true innovation isn't simply about new technologies. It's about challenging the way we think, the way we live, and the way we connect with the world around us. Today, as we face challenges that feel immense and insurmountable, climate change, dwindling resources, and the moral questions posed by new technologies, we must remember to nurture the visionaries among us. These are the dreamers who, like Tesla, see beyond the constraints of the present and reach toward a future that is bold, compassionate, and transformative. Yet visionary thinking is rarely met with immediate acceptance. It often stirs discomfort, and those who propose new ideas may be dismissed or ridiculed. But history, with all its wisdom, shows us that the most profound changes often begin with a single, seemingly impossible idea. Tesla's journey reminds us that the path of the visionary is not easy, but it is one that can lead to extraordinary, lasting change. As we look ahead, let us commit to recognizing and supporting those who challenge the status quo, even when their ideas seem radical or ahead of their time. Let us invest in innovation that reaches beyond the immediate and the obvious, that dares to address the deep and complex challenges of our era. Inspired by Tesla's life and legacy, we are called to foster a culture of innovation grounded in ethical responsibility, driven by the desire to improve the world for future generations. The challenges we face are great, but so too is our capacity for creativity, ingenuity, and progress. By embracing the spirit of Tesla's vision, we can build a future that is not only advanced, but also just, sustainable, and inclusive. In the quiet hum of distant dreams lies the spark of unseen beams, a light that glows through darkest night, guiding all toward what's right. In Tesla's name, the world has found a legacy with endless bound, a flame that burns in every wire, an endless source of human fire. His dreams of light, of power, grace, still lead us forward, set the pace. In every leap of thought or skill, his spirit moves, his vision thrills. So let us walk where he once tread, in paths of thought where futures spread. For in his work we find our own, the seeds of all that we have grown. The spark he lit, still burning bright, continues on, a beacon's light. In every heart, in every hand, Tesla's dream forever stands. And so, we gently close our journey through the life and legacy of Nikola Tesla, a visionary whose ideas continue to quietly shape the world around us. His story, filled with challenges and victories, leaves behind a light that guides all who dare to dream. Thank you for joining me in this peaceful exploration of Tesla's enduring impact. If this journey has brought you comfort or inspiration, feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that softly illuminate the past and whisper of the future. Until we meet again, this is Joe, reminding you that the light of innovation never truly fades. It just glows softly, guiding us forward